Hey everyone, welcome to another video of the Nameless Things. Eldrigo Namaskara. I think it's been a long time since I've done an Indian comic book review. So today, let's take a look at the Detective Sahashsimha series, which is a tribute to the late Dr. Vishnuvardhan. For those of you guys who don't know, Dr. Vishnuvardhan is a remarkably famous actor from the Kannada cinema industry. For those of you who have visited Karnataka, especially Bengaluru before, you would have seen his hoardings and posters at some point, and you would have definitely heard one of his most popular songs at some time during your visit in our city. Now guys, I had already reviewed the first book before, so today we'll be taking a look at the second and the third book today. The second book being The Jungle Adventure and the third book being The Case of the Disappearing Books. So guys, both of these books came out in the same year in 2014, which was just 1 year after the first book release. Now I had read the second book before and I did used to have it in my collection along with the first book, but then I had lost it. I'm so happy that I was able to get back all these books together, and even that's when I found out that there is a third book as well in this series which I had not read. So I was glad to get the entire set, and now I have finally completed reading the entire series that has come out so far. So let's take a look at the series, guys. Starting with the second book titled Detective Sahashsimha The Jungle Adventures. So guys, the story and the characters have already been established from book 1, where Dr. Vishnuvardhan, who's playing Detective Sahashsimha, is actually just playing himself. Detective Sahashsimha is his working name when they're trying to do any investigative stuff together. The story mainly revolves around him, his wife and his grandchildren who come and visit him very frequently. So in this series, when the kids come to visit their grandparents, they start realizing that there is an issue where in the local areas all along, the street dogs have all been disappearing. And when they notice that there is this abrupt pattern that has been forming all around, they decide to investigate this, and our lead hero, Dr. Vishnuvardhan, takes on the title of Detective Sahashsimha again and decides to start investigating to find out what's going wrong and where are all the street dogs missing. Which is when the kids also decide to pitch in and help, because they get excited with this, and they decided to put a tracking chip on one of the street dogs to find out what is happening. They later find out that the street dogs were all being kidnapped and left into the jungle where they would be killed by wild animals. And the reason these street dogs were released into the wild forest was so that the thieves could then just barge into the streets and stop robbing houses, because street dogs are pretty good guardians. They won't let any suspicious people enter the area that they have taken into under control. So when Detective Sahashsimha finds this out, he actually does get caught, and the thieves decided to tie him against a tree and let him get killed by the wild animals himself. This is like the standard plot that you'd have seen from like 70s and 80s movie, where the villains decided to tie the hero in a forest to a tree and they'll just let some random animal decide his fate. But since Detective Sahashsimha is actually an actor who is Dr. Vishnuvardhan, he's also trained in the art of ventriloquism, which is the art of throwing your voice as if it's coming from another direction. So being able to mimic the voice of a bigger predator, the leopard that was coming to eat him, gets scared and runs away, and then he slowly loosens himself and escapes from there. He makes it in times to stop the robbers, and there is a little bit of fighting that goes on, and then he's able to subdue all of them, and then they rescue the remaining street dogs. Here's a look at the third book and the last one of the series, which is titled Detective Sahashsimha The Case of the Disappearing Books. So actually this book is also quite similar to the plot of issue 1 and issue 2, with the fact that there is something missing, that something goes missing, and the grandchildren and Detective Sahashsimha decided to investigate what is going on. They find out that crooks are trying to do something or stop something because they have an agenda of robbing someone or oppressing someone, and so they decided to go a little bit of underground, gather the proof, and then they stop them, and ultimately they do a little bit of fighting, and then there is a kind of revelation towards the end with a moral to the end of the story, because these stories are mainly targeted for the small children and leave sort of moral lessons for them. So the narrative style and the overall plot is quite simple. It's not going to be anything intricate or detailed like you would see in a lot of big books from major companies like DC, Marvel, or from any of the other Indian companies that produce more mature content. Guys, if I had to rank my favorite out of these three, I would definitely go for the first one, because I definitely think the story that was a bit more layered and a bit more engaging throughout. The second and third book is also good, but the overall plot is fairly simple. And as you guys can probably notice, the cover art of all these three issues are also different, because the cover art on each of these books were worked on by different artists. So let's take a look at that. Now guys, the story for the first and second book was written by the same person, which was Sahil Rizwan, but the artwork done for the first and second book are by two different people. The artwork done in the first book was by Sabu Sarsan, and the second one was done by Dilip Kadam, who's another popular artist who's done a lot of amazing cover arts for Amar Chitrakatha. The person who wrote the story for the third book is Nalini Ramachandran, and the cover art was being done by Vikas. As you can also see from here, this book was published by Amar Chitrakatha Media, so it's great that Amar Chitrakatha took this initiative to publish these comics on the late Dr. Vishnuvardhan, paying a tribute to him. And I also like the fact that they kept the story simplistic so that they can engage with a younger audience and also let them know who Dr. Vishnuvardhan is, and also try to imbibe a small moral value at the end of the story as well. These kind of comics are the ones that are missing a lot in mass media today. You have a lot of focus on layered, structured plot lines that is coming out from big production companies, but stories for children which would get them into comic books and into long time reading habits is something that has been lost from last few years, I feel. And guys, these three books are also available in Kannada as well. And if you want to pick this up, I'll leave the link in the description so that you can buy these books yourself and read it. They're extremely cheap and affordable. They're not super expensive at all. And I would definitely recommend that you can pick this up and read it. Especially if you are from Bangalore and ನೀವು ಕನ್ನಡದವರಾದರೆ ನೀವು ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಆದರೂ ಈ ಬುಕ್ಕನ್ನು ತೊಗೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಓದಲೇಬೇಕು. ಇದು ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ವಿಷ್ಣುವರ್ಧನ್ ಫ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಇದು ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ನಾಸ್ಟಾಲ್ಜಿಯಾ ಫೀಲಿಂಗು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. For beginners and children who are getting first time into reading picture books and story books, this is a great way to start off, as it is nothing too intense and it is not too boring at the same time. Let me know your thoughts about this series in the comments below. Let me know if you feel that they should continue the series, because I would be very happy if they decide to continue this series and publish more stories. ನೀವು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ವಿಷ್ಣುವರ್ಧನ್ ಫ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕಮೆಂಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಸ್ಟೋರೀಸ್ ನೋಡಬೇಕಂತ ಆಸೆ ಅಂತ. If you like this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and share this with your friends. You can subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more such videos, and I will catch you guys next time.